I think you have the first top first.
Yeah.
Put the middle. I think this is the middle. I'm going to put the top one there. Let's see, is that going to hold?
Yeah.
Close. Well, and then this underneath. I'm going to hold it. So you can see this is a continuum. And pardon the easel. It just really does. It does cause a divide, but we really don't have a place to hang it. Why don't we talk about this? I might have to put it down after a while. I know my hand, your hands could get tied. But let's take a look real quick. Maybe some close up of these colors. What is this called?
It's called freckles.
Freckles.
Freckles. Yeah. I did like a sunny day outside. On a porch with all my art. In fact, all this art is done flat and not on an easel. Like it's all painted on a flat table or a surface. Okay. You know, so that's something I left out. That's really kind of a unique thing about my process that I don't paint vertically like this. So what happens is, you drag a table outside, and this is kind of just it's an exercise almost in like just sort of letting a painting happen. This is another one of these pieces that's sort of just it's like you throw a bunch of wildflowers in a garden and they all come up of their own
together.
accord.
Not a particular seed.
So it turns into something like this, and this is I mean, there's a lot of energy and creativity behind it, but very little planning.
And what altogether? What would be the size on the three pieces together?
Well, it's gonna be about a little more than 2 feet wide and 3 feet.
It's the 1x2s.
Yeah, those are the 1x2 panels.
So we have 3x6, something like that.
2x3 is what that comes to, or 2x6. 2x3 or 3x2.
Anyway. Yeah. Okay, now we have one more, and it's the most complicated. That's what we settled for last. Let's see if Devin, can you get there?
Yeah, this one will be
Again, this
complicated.
is another one that is fantastic pieces.
Well, let's do it so that it's like this. We can hold it like this.
All right.
And why don't you take this one, and put that in front of your legs.
Over here on the side?
Yeah, just right there.
Okay.
And that is, how's that? Can you guys get a shot down this low? Or should we lift it up here?
I don't know. That's just, can you get? Is that gonna be all right, Mr. Director?
Yeah.
Can we get down there? You want us to lean it back, or you want us to try and put it up? Okay. All right, let's talk about this. Is one again, just magnificent piece. But it's got that very stark black background, so it really adds the depth to all the colors, and the colors are just really cool. Now, what is this title? This strip?
It's called Savannah. It's a lot about kind of going back to origins and stuff. I was reading some stuff about like how humanity comes from like these parts of Africa, and there's this diaspora, and everybody leaves and spreads out, and it's sort of an idea of kind of going back to the drawing board or back to beginnings and trying to take things from a foundational level and just bring them to somewhere new. Instead of trying to always add something on, it's about like taking things away and starting from somewhere from scratch almost, and it's like going back to an origin, and that's why I call it Savannah. It's sort of like
roots, origin.
Roots, yeah.
Oh, fantastic!
And it's got a song that goes with it, and things like that. A lot of times pieces of art get songs too that I write for them.
But it's not when you hang it up, it starts playing. It's not like one of those musical cards.
No, it should be though.
I don't
it's
want
like
you
a
to
triptych. You open it up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Hang it up, and then it starts playing. Well, who knows? It might be another thing you can add to it and see. Especially, some people might like that. It might be interesting that your art actually sings to you now or plays to you. So it's a combination of wonderful art.
Yeah.
And this again is made up of pieces. The two end pieces are like the 1x2s, and the middle is maybe like the 2x.
Yeah. This is the same dimensions.
So same dimensions as individual.
And what happens with that is that it actually will stack upon itself, and and so it's an actual kind of like real triptych as far as like the like kind of like ancient dimensions are.
Exactly.
They used to build them into boxes, so they would fold up and be protected.
Right. Very, very pretty. So we really like that. Okay, and we're going to delicately put these back. We're just going to put it here.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, and we've seen all the work that we've got, but let's talk a little bit more to Devin before we go, because it looks like we're getting somewhat near the end of the show. As I said, we have Devin Abrams in. He's originally from New York. He's came to us twice. The second time is hopefully he's going to make a stay of it. You can see him at the Ferret Street Festivals, which is the first Saturday of every month. It puts a lot of his work there, and I know he would love seeing you all are on his website, which is coolneworleansart.com. All right, now you mentioned you do, besides what you brought here, let's talk a little bit about some of the other things that you say. You say you actually even do sculpture, is that right? Or are you focusing only on this now?
Right now I'm trying to focus mainly on the art. I still write songs, I still do some drawings, pen and ink. And those,
but you're really looking strictly toward the art as you.
Yeah.
Well, but you did mention there were other. So let's talk a little bit about, since I know you, especially at the street festival, you'll see a lot more of these last two that we've shown, where there actually are hanging pieces together, suites or whatever. Let's talk about some of those that maybe we didn't bring, and maybe I know it's not as.
I left
visual.
a lot of them just because I couldn't find a way to.
No,
display them
I'm not
here,
trying to make excuses. I'm just trying to say, let's talk a little bit about people understand some of the others that you have in that genre where you actually are hanging them together.
Well, one of the main kind of setups that I have is it's a four panel piece of art where two of the panels are these 1 by 2 foot kind of pieces, and it has two smaller squares that are like 1 by 1 foot. And they'll be set up with two rectangles and then two squares on top, and they'll be put together on a table, and I'll paint them all together, and then once they're kind of got something that's got a main idea to it and something that I can focus on, I'll take them apart and I'll do them as separate smaller pieces so that they all stand alone and have like kind of a separate identity and individuality to them. But then they come together and they're like a real big piece of art. And some people will take them and hang them as one set and do them as like one thing on one wall, and other people will take them and put them on separate walls and spread them around in their house, and you can stagger them at different heights and give them all kinds of designs.
Variety for decorators.
Yeah. So if you wanted to change, you're not stuck with just one kind of image. You can change it.
Exactly, but it adds a continuum. So, like I say, you can add that piece around off the four walls or whatever, and it just adds that eye visual continuum leading to the main piece. Now, did I understand you to say the one thing real quick there was that when you actually conceive it as a whole piece before, just like in food nowadays, we're deconstructing food, taking food and going backwards to its basic element and reassembling it in different ways. Did you say that you actually painted that bit, or you just sketch it first?
No, I'll paint it out. I'll paint out the whole thing, and I'll do it on a table with all the pieces lined up.
So what happens? But then you say you go back and you paint the five or four individual pieces.
I'll take them apart.
So what do you do with that single piece, that original piece that's all together?
Well, the original piece that's all together is it's on separate canvases. I make them on separate canvases to begin with.
I thought you said it was all on one big canvas, and then
they're all like buttered up against each other and put into.
So you're already painting it in the mode of separate.
I set them up on panels like these so that they're all nice and they're gallery wrapped, and they're all set up so that everything is going to be safe, and it's gonna keep without warping or anything. I'll let all my wood sit out and stuff, so it's all good. And then, I paint it as one piece, and I take it apart, and I take each individual part of it, and I'll take those and I'll make them into pieces that have sort of just a kind of standalone feel to them, and then when I put them back, then I make sure they're all consistent.
Great. Okay, folks, wow, time's flown by, and it always does. As we say, we've been talking to Devin Abrams. Artist Review will now be once a month on the last week of the month. We've already got the gentleman on scheduled for July, who does one of the very common things now, paints New Orleans houses, but he does it in a different dimension than what we've seen before. So stick around at the end of July for that. Remember, you can see him at Fred Festival, website, cool, neworleansart.com. Again, this is Bob Bockelman. Next week, it was 4th of July, so we will, you may maybe see, I think you'll probably see a replay of Daniels on the Bayou, and we'll come back to you after 4th of July with a new restaurant. So we'll see you at the restaurants in July. Have a good one.